nothing. Not exactly true. I did find a Donatello crossed over with He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and a Clamp Champ, which actually, I don't have a Clamp Champ, so even though it's a Masters of the Universe one, I thought about getting it. It's the wrong scale, blah, 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 but at the very least I can play with it with my kid, except, once again, they were like $13 each. These are figures that I think retailed for like 15, maybe 20. They should be $7.99 or $6.99. Then I would have got them both. Boo, Ross. You're forgetting you're a discount store, Ross.
Honey, Penny.
What's up? I'm born to be down. Are you born to be down? I think I said this before now. And I just don't get it and keep it copacetic and you learn to accept it. No, it's so pathetic and you go, oh, bad for the floor. Local H from the 90s. I think they're a one-hit wonder, but I've never looked into it.
Well, I say morning, but it's actually afternoon, isn't it? It's close to 12. I just had a bagel with butter for lunch. Today's been a productive but weird day. I spent the first part sending a gift certificate to my uncle for his birthday, but he is super not tech savvy, so I basically had to buy it, email it to myself, take a screenshot, and then text it to him. So hopefully that works out for him. But then I t-shirt stuff. Talking to the big dog. I've been talking to several printers. One which quoted me in the neighborhood of $20 a shirt, which I'm just done with, and the other two, one that's local and one that is Bay Area, terrible at responding to emails. The local one, it's been, I think, 2 days, going on 3 days, and they still haven't responded. The other one seems to respond every day and a half and only answer some of my questions, and their price isn't great either. Right now, it's looking at like $13 a shirt. And the big dog, my buddy Alex, has been telling me, why aren't you doing print on demand for these shirts? And I'm like, because the quality's bad and they cost a lot and nobody does that. But that's not true. That can be true. That has been true. But Morphin Time Fitness is a friend of ours through Action Activate, the Power Ranger show, and he has a bunch of shirts on there. And the big dog has ordered one and is like, yeah, it's a thicker quality shirt, like the kind you like. I put it through the wash a bunch of times. It looks good. It's got more colors and more complicated design than what you have. Why don't you do this? And then also people can pick if they want it on a hoodie or a tank top or different shirt quality or whatever. And I'm like, well, because money, but not really, because like you make like no money when you sell them on there. You make like $1 or $2 versus potentially more if I could get them at a wholesale. And when you do silk screen, the reprints are cheaper, blah, 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 blah. But you also have to order 50, 100 and then hopefully sell them or keep them in your house. So basically, I never really thought I'd make money. I hoped I'd break even. So it's more about getting people shirts, getting me shirts. But so the money isn't really there, but also the risk isn't there, and having to worry about the inventory isn't there. But I've ordered shirts online and gotten bad quality shirts and bad quality print where it's rubbery or it falls apart if you put it in the wash once. And he's like, no. And so I'm going back and forth, and he's like, why don't you just order one to test it out? I'm like, actually, that's a great idea. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting on emails from these other printers that can't be bothered to get back to me. So I spend about a half hour to an hour working on that, setting up an account and getting the high-res file to send to them. But they need it as a PNG with a transparent background, which I can't do through my iPad, so I'm going to do that home later on Photoshop. Then I also worked on the Micronauts picture. I made a few last-minute adjustments to the two main characters, Huntar and Akriir, and I decided to make them smaller. Well, here, I'll show you. So this is kind of the new final. I made them smaller. I had made some adjustments. I had to draw a little bit extra. I had Microtron in front, and there was some other like equipment. I took that equipment out, gave him another arm. I think that's a better framing device with Biotron than Microtron. The rest of it's ready to go. Those treads are a little rough, but I could clean that up in the inks. And I added like a little platformer on, and I'm going to do some white outlines or colored pencil or whatever I need to in the final. So I think it's pretty much done. And I'll need to print that out and start inks. But that was the big part of what I did today. So I'm calling that done. Really good news, though. Let me take a sip. I suppose I could have cut that out, but you're here at the coffee shop with me. The really good news is I got an email from UPS that I'm getting a package tomorrow. So what? It's the comics. Now, hopefully everything prints out okay. I did a couple rounds of print revisions. I'm also worried because I had 3 covers. The standard cover that I did, Frankie B. Washington variant, and Kevin Schmidt variant. And I'm forgetting the numbers now. I totally ordered it so long ago. But let's say I ordered 100. It's supposed to be, 60 of the regular cover. And then it's supposed to be a ratio of like 1 to 2. There's supposed to be more of the Frankie B. Washington than the Kevin Schmidt, because the Kevin Schmidt one is supposed to be the more rare one. Not that it's terribly rare, you could just buy it, but I do charge a little more because a million reasons that I'm not going to get into, but it's a little rarer. And Frankie B, I also owe some comp copies to, so I needed more for that reason. When I put in the order, I think originally I flipped the quantities for Kevin and Frankie's covers, and I sent a message saying, please correct that. But as with every printer I've worked with ever, they're not great at email, and sometimes they miss things and whatever. So we'll see if I get the right quantities. But theoretically, I should be getting everything tomorrow in the afternoon. I don't know if I'll be able to package tomorrow. If not, then that'll be my Friday, because today's Wednesday. But that means I can start. Oh, I got to send out the surveys. Maybe I'll do that next, and then I could start sending out to everybody except for people that had the shirts, which isn't that many. So that's gonna be good. It's July. They're supposed to ship in July, and I was starting to worry it might not hit July. In which case, I'd send a message and say, "Hey, it might not be till August." And I think people would be understanding. But yeah, once I start shipping, once I get all the stuff in the mail, maybe soon I'll be sending out the digital rewards too. Is I guess what I'm getting at. There was something else. I don't remember what else, but there was something else. Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
I need to sit outside again. Maybe, I don't know if I'm coming here tomorrow, but I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. But it is nice, and it's 80 something, but in the shade. I don't know, maybe if I start here and then move inside if I need to, not be able to go inside. And now that I can, I don't go outside so much anymore. And I think that's a mistake. But anyway, it's like 1, I'm heading back. I've got an hour to an hour and a half before I have to pick up the kid. The other thing I did that I forgot is I was on the phone with my doctor because I need a prescription, and we're playing phone tag. And if I could get it in, I could pick it up on the way to pick the kid up. Convenient and good. Otherwise, it would have to be later today or maybe even tomorrow. So I'm going home to call them again. I'm going to format the file and send it to the t-shirt file and send it to the printer. And I'm going to switch the car seat from this car to the other car because the other car is better. But I've been driving this one because the car seat was in here and I just keep not moving it. Those are the 3 goals I want to accomplish before going to pick up the kid. And then today, assuming she and I are both not, emotionally dysregulated or sick, or, assuming everything's fine and it's not too cold, which I don't think it will be, we're going to jump in the pool after and then shower. It's going to be, the last 3 days have been kind of long days, not bad days, but I picked her up Monday, and then we went out to the mall with another parent and their kid and ran around and did a bunch of stuff and basically didn't have any independent play, and then it was dinner time. And then yesterday, I picked her up when we went to my mom's house and did a bunch of stuff there and had dinner and had no independent play. Well, technically 30 minutes. Went home and bedtime. And today is going to be pick her up and, shower and everything. So I'm not complaining. I've had good mornings and everything's cool, but I'm just realizing that I'm making it hard on myself, but I have the energy to do so to make her have more fun, so it's worth it. So it's good for both of us. I was saying this in the last video, like when I'm rested and clear-minded and regulated in all the various ways you can be regulated, and get some art done, then I feel like I could push myself more. Because sometimes when I push myself, it makes it harder. I've done this in the past. Like, oh, you know what? I'll give her more time to play, and then it gets worse. Or I'll go the extra mile and take her here, and then she acts worse. And so when I'm a little bit burnt out or tired or whatever, and I force myself to do that extra, and then it backfires, it creates a bad situation where I'm just miserable. So this way, even if it backfires, I'm okay. So I'll just be like, all right, well, let me show you some patience and whatever. I gotta get going home to do all those things I just said I was gonna do. Well, I formatted the file and I sent it. I set up my account. I made it so you could get other stuff too. It's kind of open and there now. So if people wanted to jump on and get it, they could, but I'm not advertising it or showing it to anybody. And I ordered a standard tee, large, and I ordered a boxy heavy duty medium. So I'm gonna check those two, see how they look. It needed a transparent PNG, so I made all the black transparent, so it would just be the color of the black shirt showing through. I don't know if that was a good or a bad idea, because if you pick another color like blue, I disabled a lot of the colors because it's gonna look weird. Maybe I should do another version where I have the black so it could be on a white shirt, for example, but it's gonna take 6 to 8 business days to come. It cost me $22.50 each shirt with shipping and everything. That's standard shipping. So yeah, it's cost me $45 to test this, to check out 2 shirts. There's no cost. Like I thought, oh, since it's my art, maybe I can get them at cost. No. So like there's not really much chance of me reselling these. Maybe I have one on at a show and could tell people where they get it or something if I go this way. My worry is that it's going to take me a week to 2 weeks to get these. And meanwhile, the printers, so what? They've been taking forever, so I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to print out the labels that I got set for the packages I need to bring, have an eBay sale and an Etsy sale, and pick up the kid. Thursday morning. This box right here is filled with comic book shippers, which will work for anybody that got a comic book, a small print, pins, stickers, but not a t-shirt and not a large print. Still a mess in here. This is the area where I'm going to be staging, but I might spread out over here while the kid is at the summer program. The comics are supposed to come today. I sent the surveys. I think out of 56, I got a message that 18 or so are back. So if that's the case, I should be packaging up, about 18, maybe a few less if there's some digital people, or a few less if there's t-shirts or something else included. But my plan is to be doing, let's say between 15 and 20 later today. I'm gonna take the kid to the summer program. I'm gonna do a short coffee shop stop to do a few things I could do there before the shipment comes. And then that should be most of my day, yeah. Well, some house stuff too.
It's 9:50, I'm at the coffee shop. I did a thumbnail for this week's Action Activate. And I looked at the Micronauts again. It didn't actually need any more drawings since I kind of did all the revisions last night. And it's done and ready to print and transfer, but I like the idea of doing a color hold. Like if this was on a cover for real, that's how I would do it. And I was thinking I could maybe do it analog. Like, print this out, put the paper over a light box, and use a pink or purple pen of some sort to draw this. I'm toying with that idea. I'm gonna check the sketchbook and see if there's any color anywhere else in it. And if there is, then okay, I could do a little color. If there isn't, maybe I'll contact them and see what they think. And if not, I'll just do it traditionally and a little bit more white in the background. That's what I've accomplished here so far. I'm gonna be leaving early today because the comic shipment's coming. So I think for now, I'm going to work a little bit on this, where'd it go? This Godzilla, which I started a while back. I want to tighten it up to potentially be something I ink traditionally, to have an original piece of art and or turn into a print. But I'm glad I had something else to kind of busy myself in between, kind of like the Baragon. I need to work on the sketch cards as well today, but this is something I can just work on for the next few minutes at least. 20 Thursday, I'm home. The comics have not come yet. There may or may not need a signature, but I'm here. Sometimes I'm home, Tech Advisor Azuki's home, and I get a note saying no one was home, and it's like, we have a doorbell, I'm home, what's going on? So I don't know. But anyway, I'm home, and I keep looking out the window because I'm afraid I'm going to miss it, which if I do, they'll come tomorrow, it'll be fine. Or I could pick it up, whatever. But I had to re-upload the Action Activate video. It didn't upload properly, so I fixed that. And I got the boxes ready that I was talking about before, and I'm trying to print card roughs out so I could move that forward. And I remembered that my printer is not working. We got a new router and it just won't connect, and I'm trying to fix that. And if I can't, I will have to get the aptly named Tech Advisor Airzuki. So in the meantime, I'm just trying to prep for when the comics come, and I might do some laundry or something because I'm installing all this stuff and it may or may not even work. The sketchbook that I'm going to do with putting the Micronauts in, it's literally the only open page still. It was between these two, and it's got a little schmutz on it. I thought it was 9x12. It's more like 8.5 by 11, which is fine because I could just reduce it slightly and put it here. And I did see some that had a little bit of color in them, so I feel comfortable if I decide to go with the pink. I think in here, it might be down there, I have a set of colored pens. Kind of like they're similar to Pigma, but they're not Pigma brand. I don't know where they are, but I'll find them. To do that, I still need to print, and the printer is not working. I'm going to need to get outside help. But the comics came. While I was looking at the sketchbook, I saw the UPS truck, and it just drove away. I'm like, oh no, they didn't ring the bell. Didn't need signature. 2 boxes, one very big, one medium big. So I'm going to go downstairs, check those now, and get going. Boxes for the comics. This, I assume, is the regular, and this is both of the variant covers. So let's take a look. Bloop. Oh, can't see them. Can't see them, can't see them. They're packed nice, like nice ice. And can't see them. All right, let's get into it. They come kind of packed in sets like this that are in bubble wrap. And then in the bubble wrap, the whole thing has like that shrink wrap around it. And then this is new for me. It comes with these perforated protective covers, which you essentially just rip off. Which adds a little time, but I guess it keeps it safe, which makes sense because I had ordered from Kablam and had issues with the cover, and maybe that's an ongoing thing. Flipping through it, and most of the separations, which is what I was concerned about, are good. Some of them could still be better, but what are you gonna do? It's fine. It's a little bit thick. I realize I'm at like the far edge of how many pages can be in a comic like this.
This is terrible. I just did this live, but I'm looking at them, right? And I'm like, okay, that's, you know, it's separated there, it's separated. Could be a little better. And then up here, I thought he said something. What do we notice? There's no lettering. There's no lettering on that page. There's no dialogue, there's no lettering. And if it was like a fight page or something else, I could almost get away with it. But it's all conversation. It's all conversation, moving the plot forward. And I have hundreds of copies that are all wrong. And I'm not sure what to do about it, because I'll tell you what I can't do. I can't afford to reprint all of these again. And some of them are comp copies that are going to one of the artists, and I guess I'm giving them comp copies with a bad page. I thought maybe I could just reprint issues for the backers, which is, I have 56 backers, so let's just say 50, because let's say 6 of them are digital only, and then 10, so I'd have to reprint 60 copies, 61 copies with that and the comp, you know. I don't think I have the money to do that. Uzi, your meowing is not helping. Where my head's going, and this just happened. So where my head's going now is maybe just at home or at a local FedEx or Kinko's or whatever, reprint that page that's missing the dialogue and give it as like an insert. Like, sorry, here's an insert. You got the first printing error. You know, if it ever becomes valuable, look at you. You got printing one with the error page. Which, you know, if it was a big comic, might be interesting, but yeah. So where my head's going is that I'm just going to print an insert page that stinks. I'm going to check. I mean, I'm sure it's in all of them. I'm going to check a few more just on the off chance that somehow it's not. Then I'm going to check, because I approved the digital rough, and I assume what happened was that when I changed the art to make more of a separation between the pages, I turned off the dialogue / captions, bubbles, whatever you're gonna call it, layer, or the lettering layer, and forgot to turn it back on, and then exported it and uploaded it. And that's what they used. And they're not editors. So, like, you know, an editor or anybody that was really looking at it would be like, hey, it's missing the dialogue. But I don't think they look at all. I think they're just like, okay, this is what you want, boom, here it is. And I think I just have been looking at it so long and changing it so much that I just had blindness to that. And they sent me a digital proof, and I okayed the digital proof. So the only chance I have of this not being a complete disaster, in one way or another, is if I'm gonna go look at the digital proof again, and if somehow it's their mistake, like if the digital proof had the lettering, great. I could be like, hey, you made a mistake, print them again, send them to me. There'll be a delay, but everything will be fine. I think that's very unlikely, but I'm gonna check that. All right, I had some lunch. I'm trying to be level-headed, calm down. Now, I did look at the links I had been sent for the digital proofs that I approved, but they're no longer there. The link is there, but it's like, oh, it's removed. So I guess once they print it, they take it out. I'm gonna contact them, and I still think the chances that it's not my fault are low, but not as low as I originally thought, because I went and looked at some of my files. The most recent one I could find was from the 25th of June, and it's now the 17th of July, and that one had the lettering on it. I looked at the 2 physical proofs they sent, which had other issues that I changed, but they both had lettering on that page. One was from May, and one is from June 15th. So the version they had, June 15th, had the lettering on it. The one I have is dated, I forget if it was the 25th or the 26th, the image. Page in question with the lettering, 6/25. Oh wait, I'm misreading this. That was June 6th. It was probably for the proof that I got on the 15th of June. So the question is, did I update it again? And if so, I gotta look through my files and see if I can find a more updated version than that either does or doesn't have the lettering. And if it doesn't have the lettering, then it was my fault. If it does have the lettering, it still might be my fault, but then I would feel bold enough to be like, hey, is it possible you made a mistake? Can you look at the digital proof that I approved or whatever? But I got to do some more research before I feel comfortable even asking that. I just found a folder Revised, send to Comics Wellspring 7/2. That's July 2nd. That's probably the one. 15 days ago. So now I need to find the page, which is... yep. It's my fault. All right, so I had ordered 100 copies of the standard issue 3, 50 of one of the variant covers, and 25 of the other variant cover. Taking that price that included tax and shipping and taking out the $40 for the physical proof, it came out to $2.82 cost each. If I times that by 70, which would be 56 people that I owe comics to thereabouts, plus extra to give to the artists as comp copies, so about 70, give or take, comes to $197.31 cost, so about $200. So if I want to swap that page and print all over again, $200, and that would cover everything I owe everyone, but not maybe I'd have like a handful to sell. And I got to look at how much I brought in versus how much I've put out. I don't know what the right thing to do is. Because let's say I do that. Let's say I have the $200 in the Kickstarter funds, even after paying for the prints and the stickers and everything else, so that I could spend this and I'm not making any money, but I'm not losing money. Then I've got 175 comics that I pulp, I give away with a bad page, I put an insert in and sell at a reduced price. I can't just keep them forever. It's 2 huge boxes, and as you know, I don't have room for more boxes. Aside from everything else, I'm annoyed that I didn't catch this. Like, that was my fault, and maybe I should have had someone else look at it, but I'm a one-man show. I'm doing everything myself, and I don't know. You know how it is, even when you're drawing something or doing anything, at some point you don't see things anymore. You've been looking at it too long. But also, I was excited because I have a box of boxes, and I have prints, and I have things, and so I was excited to spend the hours I had today packing stuff up and getting it out of my house, getting this big to-do off my plate, and getting the rewards to people on time this month. And now it's just a whole lot more mental energy that I don't know how to solve this correctly. I feel like what I should do is switch the page and order the new comics, give that to all the backers, and figure out what to do with the rest. I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna think on it, but that's where my head goes. And then I just don't know what to do with the rest, because the idea of throwing away makes me sick to my stomach. Time has passed. I'm catching up on laundry, because, I never do laundry. Did some cleaning and a few other household things, had some lunch, and I sent an email to the printing company, Comics Wellspring, basically explaining the situation. And not that I expect a solution. I said, it's my fault. I don't expect a refund, but is there a way to do this? Is there, if I send these back to you, can you put a page in? And that probably doesn't make sense, because shipping from them to me was something like $80. And I basically just said, is there a way to fix this other than me buying new comics and throwing these out or whatever? And we'll see what they say. And the more I think about it, I can't imagine a solution because, yeah, the shipping back and forth and pulling it apart and putting a page in, it just doesn't kind of make any sense. Tech Advisor Rizuki floated the idea of getting a full page sticker to put on them, which maybe could happen, but that's still a weird inferior comic product, and sticker paper isn't super cheap, and I'd have to get it printed, and that's time and effort. And then, but I wouldn't feel right selling them at full price, but I couldn't really afford to sell them at a discount either. Yeah, it's looking more and more like I order new ones and make these giveaways or throw them away, which I hate to do, but I don't know. But I did write to the company, and the more I think about it, I don't expect any solution from them. But what would be nice is if they're we feel for you, here's a discount code for your reorder, which doesn't solve all my problems, but I'm going to wait a day or two to hear from them and see what they say, and then most likely I'm just going to reorder, and yeah, I'll put an official update on Kickstarter. I mean, you guys could see this now, but saying I got the books, but I got a reorder, and so there might be a little bit of a delay and blah, 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 blah. About a half hour before I have to pick the kid up. I'm playing Fortnite because I'm not feeling super anything, even though I'm playing a superhero. I'm downloading Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition because I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con in 2 weeks, and they have an exclusive Dalzim figure, which I'm like, do I want that? I don't have any Street Fighter figures. Then I spent an hour last night before bed watching reviews and action figure, Street Fighter history of action figures, basically, from all these different companies. And I may or may not get the figures, but it definitely made me feel like playing Street Fighter again, which I don't have. And so on PlayStation for $30, it was like the 30th Anniversary Collection, which is basically everything from Street Fighter 1 up until, I don't know when, sometime in the late 90s. So I'm downloading that. Meanwhile, Tech Advisor Erzuki is helping me with my printer problem. And I'm out here looking at boxes because the Wi-Fi is not working for her either, and it needs the cable to be plugged in to reset it, or to maybe always be plugged in. I don't know. If I get the cable, I could definitely use the cable. And I'm looking to see if in this pile of garbage is the printer box, which I don't know if we still have or not. I'm thinking not, because it wouldn't be mixed in with this pile. So I might then, if I can't find that, have to start looking through stuff in my office, looking for wire that I may or may not have. And if I don't have it, I may need to go buy one from a store. This looks like my office, only worse. I guess it's better because it's a garage. It should look like this. But meanwhile, I have things I need to print for things I need to work on. So if I can't get this solved relatively quickly, I'm gonna have to go to a printer and just be like, can you print these 4 pieces of paper? Which seems ridiculous, or 5, I guess. But that might be what I'm doing tomorrow morning, or even later tonight, depending on how I feel. I don't see a printer box set here, and I know it's not in there because I've dug through that recently. It's mostly holiday stuff. The Street Fighter Alpha 3, which I feel like I played once or twice in the arcade, but yeah, I'm gonna try this because I think some of the best figures coming out right now are from this game. Looks cool. Going for a walk for the first time in a few days, and it's still actually kind of light out, which is nice. It's Friday, going to Coyote Coffee. So yesterday I needed to print out to work on Micronauts. I needed to print out to work on sketch cards. Could not get the printer working, even with the help of Tech Advisor Erzuki. Tried 2 different routers. Spent a lot of time myself, spent a lot of time together. And basically need a wire is what we've discovered. Ordered it from Best Buy, which doesn't open for an hour, and then they will let me know that they have it. So I'm at the coffee shop until then. I also need to go to the post office and a few other things. I decided to work on some roughs for the Kid Switch variant cover. This one's still a work in progress. I kind of like this one, but I feel like it works best with black and white with just the pinkish purple. That'd be more purple, actually, but I looked at the pages they sent me, which is just a few, but I haven't read the script yet. So I'm going to finish this one and then look at the script. There's a giant rat, which is supposed to be about the size of a tiger, but I keep wanting it to be bigger. And I'm going to check maybe with Creative License I can, do it that way. Because I do feel like if I made this smaller, it's a much cooler image, maybe tilt it this way a little, but I got to check. It's a little after 1. I've been here for about 4 hours, and I did 4 Kid Switch roughs. I think you already saw that one. Then I did this one, which I liked better. Then I did this one, which I like not as much, but I do like the idea that there's an action figure in the scene, and I have a little cameo by the Horror A4. And then this one, which is probably my favorite, which is the villain fighting the monster, which is kind of a weird thing up on a cover, but I don't know, I feel like that really has a lot of power and action to it. All right, I dropped off an Etsy sale and an eBay sale and another package I had to send out to the post office. I got just about an hour before I have to pick up the kid. Didn't get an email back from the comic book printer yet. There's some other email I was waiting on that I cannot remember. Oh, I guess emails from either of the t-shirt places that are just not getting back to me. I don't know what the deal with that is. I really don't. It does occur to me that maybe I should call them, or maybe they should call me, but that was never suggested as like, hey, why don't we just call and talk? Which I feel like if they preferred that, that's what they would have said. So I'm going to go to Best Buy to get the wire, and then head to pick up the kid. And I just booked us COVID boosters. I didn't see any flu shot for some reason. Maybe I could add it when I get there. But I just booked us COVID boosters to do right after I pick her up, because I realized, A, it's been about a year, so we're probably due for both. But B, I'm going to be going to Florida in about 2 weeks. And when you get the booster, it takes a little while for the efficacy to kick in. And there's been talk of cases on the rise in this area specifically, like higher than it was in the winter. And I don't want to get it, and I don't want her to get it. And I'm going to be going to Florida. And in Florida, they get shots less than we do here. They believe in vaccines less than they do here. So I'm gonna be getting on a plane, going to an airport, going to Florida. I figure it's a good time to get my shots up to date so I could be the most protected I can. Kind of last minute. The bad news is sometimes it knocks me out for half a day or a day. And tomorrow is supposed to be a pool day with some friends coming over with their kid. So hopefully I'm not a mess for that, but whatever. This is, you know, if I am, I am. What are you gonna do? I'll take a nap after the pool or something. But yeah, that's the plan. Best Buy. Well, the sun has gone down and the moon has come up, and long ago somebody left with the cup, but he's racing and pacing and plotting the course and something and striving on his horse. He's going the distance to get a wire first printer. What? Why are you making noises?
Who's making noises?
I spent close to an hour trying to get the printer to work. I got the new wire. I said print text page. It seemed to recognize it, put out a blank page. I haven't been able to get it to anything since. What I have done is emptied this and been shredding papers to get rid of a small pile of mail and paper while I continually download, install, uninstall, cancel, retry everything I can to make the printer work. So there were two printers, and I don't know, but I had to like erase, I had to delete like the old installer driver stuff. I had to stop recognizing one of the printers with the software, but then I also had to stop recognizing it with Photoshop that I was sending it to. Then it seemed to work, but I was getting blank pages, so I had to figure out how to clean the nozzle heads, which I did once before, like a year ago, and I know this because the video I found to do it, I had already liked. I cleaned them, and I got this, which means it's kind of working. The connection is going there. That part's solved, but I haven't used it in so long that the nozzle heads are all messed up. And a little bit of imperfection is fine, but big white stripes through it is not. So I'm sending it through a clean cycle again, and then I'll do another test print, but it's almost time for dinner, so I might have to pick this up later. Proper. I did these two right away. This one I needed to clean up because the markings on the shoe weren't quite accurate, and for the last one, they're also not quite accurate, but I'm going to stop. It's after dinner with the kid. She's fine, but it was just a lot, and I feel not healthy. And I'm going to go downstairs and feed the cats and maybe watch some TV, and I'll deal with this more eventually. I was going to say tomorrow, probably tomorrow, but we have people coming over, so I don't know. Saturday morning, I tried it's not as good as the coffee shop, but it's something. And I get a Tron mug. Yeah. Shark balloons, they're floating. Do you think they're swimming in the air? Right. What about this one? Look at this one. You can sit inside a shark mouth. So it's Saturday. We were supposed to have plans with another family and their kids, but that's not happening because the flu and COVID stuff. My arm's sore, but I'm otherwise okay. I have no symptoms. Part of that might be because I'm once again on steroids, and apparently that weakens your immune system, which weakens your response to vaccines, makes them less effective. So it wasn't the best day to do it, but I had literally just taken the first steroids, prednisone, a few hours before I got my injections. So I'll get some benefit, and I'll probably have to go back and get them re-upped in 6 months instead of a year. Meanwhile, the kid got them, and usually I feel terrible and she feels fine. And she's been a little bit of a mess. She's not felt like eating, she's tired, she's cranky, and so we canceled the plans. So they're downstairs watching a Barbie movie. I went to the food store, I ran around, did some cleaning. I got a bunch of stuff done in preparation for people coming, but also just house stuff that needs to be done. And I think I'm going to try to finish up those sketch cards, but right now I'm going to play a game of Fortnite. Last time I played, I unlocked Big Blue, so I want to play a game as Superman now. I finished editing it and printed it out, so I have all these printed out and ready to go. Well, I got a shipping notification from T-Fury, which is the print-on-demand that I'm looking at for the Hard 4 shirts. They should be arriving Friday, which is 6 days from now, which is longer than I'd like, but I guess if it works out, then I'll just kind of open the store. I'll order the ones I need for the fulfillment and have it sent directly to their addresses that they've given me. And with shipping, because otherwise I have it shipped to my house, combine it, and then reship it out, and that makes no sense. So I'll just have to eat the shipping and the cost. I'm going to lose money on all the shirts. Luckily, not a lot of people got the shirts. And then I'll just open the store to anybody who wants to order them and basically not make any money on them, but be gratified that people like my design and my character, my comic, or my art, whatever, enough to wear the shirt. and that's a win. I mean, like, honestly, like, making the shirts was never about making money. But it is just, it's weird the way it's going. It's not how I thought it would go. I gotta go take over watching the kid, at least for a while. I'm not sure what's going on, but I gotta go check in. All right, it's 4:30. The kid should be getting out of independent play, but she just fell asleep for a nap, which she never does unless she's sick, so clearly she's sick. So I'm gonna let her sleep for a little while. I've been doing house stuff. I'm almost caught up on laundry. Not caught up, but almost caught up. Doing other stuff. I'm gonna actually hang these up on the wall, which I talked about a million years ago. I played some Fortnite. I should do some art. I feel weird. I'm on these steroids and I feel like I have a lot of energy, but I'm also kind of antsy and like, so like moving around and doing stuff feels good, but like sitting down, I don't know. So this is the Luke area. So I got 2 overflow Lukes. So I just put that one up. I need to maybe rearrange it eventually, but yeah. All right, next is the Boba Fett's. For the Boba Fett area, which ends here. I've actually only got like 5 up there right now. So I need to move these 2. Keep the Mandalorian. I'll move these 3. And then one of these needs to be taken out of the clamshell to make room for another Boba Fett figure. So while I was at it, I dusted all these blinds and I dusted all the cases because I had dusted I dusted that side. Anyway, I dusted. I thought I needed to get rid of 1 figure, but I need to get rid of 2 figures because I needed 1 case. So I pilfered a case off of here. But somehow I've lost 2 spaces, I guess, because I got new cases. So I put 2 new figures up there, or 3 new figures actually. But one I removed, so 2 came off. Anyway, I have a spot for 1 there, and I had a spot for 1 there, but I moved it. So now I need to get rid of 2 figures. And it's probably not going to be R2. It will probably be these 2, but I got to double check, and I'm running out of time, so I might not be able to finish this. All right, so I got 2 Jedis here. Then I have a bunch of Sith. I got Darth Maul, Clone Wars, Anakin, Revenge of the Sith, Anakin, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren. So that kind of goes chronologically. Then I got 3 droids. Then I got, there's the 3 droids. Then I got 3 troopers of various kinds, and then that's all Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and who's the other man? Boba Fett's father, Jango Fett. Which means bye-bye to the trooper. This one was a little tough. This was when Vintage Collection was a little bit harder to get, and they had these foil ones. Oh, it says Revenge of the Sith. Well, here's what I'm thinking. I wanted one that says Revenge of the Sith with the foil. This is not the one I wanted. This is the one I found. I don't like the sticker. I don't like this version of Obi-Wan, which shows him kind of, getting ready to duel a Mustafar, but he's got the headset like he was in the Jedi Star Pilot. So I'm going to get rid of this. And if I ever want to get that type of package for my collection, I'll just bite the bullet and pay whatever eBay prices are for a character I like more. But these are the 2 that are coming off and leaving. This Cal Kestis is not going on. He's from one of the video games, which I like, but I have the 6-inch figure. And the only thing that leaves me to figure out is I have 2 of these retro collection speeder bike pilots that I got on clearance. It says 6, but I don't even think I paid 6, to be honest. I mean, I could open these and put them somewhere, but I'm not sure where. That's probably what I'll do. Or do I need to make room up by the troopers? I don't know, but I'm getting rid of those 3. Sunday, we're in San Diego. Gonna go eat at a place. Trilogy Sanctuary. It's a food place. You wouldn't know it. It sounds like a church. That's I think because it's vegan and gluten-free and maybe a third thing. So you have Sanctuary from meat and gluten and something else. Looks like a Pee Wee Herman bike. It's cool. So the Sanctuary, the trilogy, is nourishing mind, body, and spirit. So it's less about a sanctuary away from things and more about, I got it wrong. I got it. What a windy bobblehead. Look at him go. Zoots. Come on back. Hey-oh. Lots of things here. Wait, I want to see what this dome is. Oh, it's like a dome. Oh, it's like a geodesic dome. Haha. Buckminster Fuller would be pleased. Beach. You eating some hot coals? Are they good today? Yeah? Do it, lady. day because it's been kind of overcast and it's been like in the high 60s and windy. It's been really, really nice. But I'm kind of worried that I might have got a sunburn. At some point, I put some sunscreen on. But yeah, it's been a weird day. It's been a nice day. I ate too much sugar. There was a ice cream truck, and I'm like, ice cream truck. And our friend Alyssa was like, whoa, let's get something. I'm like, yeah, let's get something. Forgetting that I had this weird peanut butter chocolate cup that was basically like a hunk of fudge. And for this morning, I had like a little peanut butter chocolate wafer. And then at Starbucks, I got a coffee on the way down, and it was like a cinnamon dolce. I've had tons of sugar today, which is bad for a lot of reasons. So for dinner, which is gonna be late, I think I'm just gonna have like a big bowl of white rice and some spinach because that balances it out, right? Right? It's better.
It's dark in the morning on a Monday. Uh-oh, wait, is this my label? Something happened here. There's all kinds of extra paper. What a great camera angle. I hope that's the label I need. Let's find out. So it was the correct label. I was printing out a print label for a print that I need to send out today. I made the sale, I think, Friday, but I wasn't able to send it out. Now it's Monday. There was just some extra paper fluff. Yesterday, we went to San Diego to see a friend from New Jersey, and went to the beach and went to a restaurant and mostly just hung around and talked. Got back late. Felt bad because my mom had to hustle out of here before it was dark, so everything was fine, but we were just running late. And part of that was, I ate terribly yesterday. I ate way too much sugar, kind of didn't really think about it, just ended up having like a dessert at the restaurant. I had like a little chocolate peanut butter bar for breakfast, and then there was an ice cream truck, so I got an ice cream, and I got a coffee, but I got like a sugary coffee, and it's like, that was a lot of sugar. That was more sugar than I've had in a day in a while, which, whatever. But then I got home and had to take care of the cats and garbage and the kid and everything else. And next thing I know, it's like 9:30, and I ordered a pizza for dinner and ate the whole thing and felt really bad about myself. And didn't get a great night's sleep. Didn't get to bed till 12. Woke up a bunch of times, possibly because I ate a pizza right before I went to bed. Yeah, I'm not feeling great today, and so I'm gonna try to make healthier choices today. But meanwhile, the kid should be going to summer program soon. She's getting ready. And I am bringing some of my sketch card stuff to the coffee shop. I'm gonna make my little carbon paper where I kind of color the back and cut it, but I'm not gonna bring the actual sketch cards because I've found that if I stay at the coffee shop for a while, and I don't know if this is a problem or not, but like my clothes will start to smell like coffee. And so I worry that the sketch cards will start to smell like coffee, and maybe people don't want sketch cards that smell like coffee. And it might wear off because people work in in coffee shops. Like I'll see people drawing in Starbucks, and is that like a commission? And if you get a commission, like you don't want a commission to smell like smoke, but if it smells like coffee, is that okay? Does it wear off? I don't know. But anyway, because I don't know that, I'm not gonna bring anything that I'm gonna send anyone else into a coffee shop. So I'm gonna do some digital work, and I'm gonna kind of do some prep work with the scissors and everything else. Meanwhile, I'll show you this, well, I'll talk about t-shirts later. Oh, good. There's the garbage truck. I've been kind of, I don't know, the days have blended together the last couple days, and I was like, oh no, it's garbage day, but I remembered to put the garbage cans out, so everything's fine. Do you agree? No? Why? What's your dissenting opinion based on? Oh, the fact that you're hungry and want food? That's all that matters? What about a pet? Does a pet help? Yeah, a pet helps. It feels weird having like so many random and traditional art supplies here, but here I go. After 11, I did all the fake carbon paper transfer. I cut those up. I'm working on this Godzilla a little bit, playing with colors and just doing some inking. I'll give it a minute. I need to drop a package off at UPS, and I need to go to a Target over here to get a clearance Monster High thing for the kid's birthday in 2 months, but I can't pick it up while she's with me. And we saw it in the store the other day. And then I'm gonna head home and try to do some analog work. So, is my coffee empty? I think I have one sip. All right, time to go. Target, the same Target I was at Friday. It's Monday, so the weekend went by. And there was like 4 clearance sections, and the one that had the Monster High bus thing. And to be clear, there was like 6 of them. There was a ton, and they've been there for a while. But that section is gone. Now, is it possible they all sold out? Yeah, but I think it just got moved somewhere. The other 3 are still here, and I just can't find it anywhere. I hope they're not gone. I mean, well, I found some more clearance sections that somebody pointed out to me. No Monster High buses. I did get Ghost Spider from Spidey and His Amazing Friends on clearance that I knew she wanted, so that's good. But that was like, $5 instead of $10, not 30 instead of 60.
And then I bought some Transformers for myself, which I may keep or I may return, but I know they're kind of hard to get. So this is something stupid I do where I buy things to make sure I have them. And then I'm like, well, do I really want them? Should I return them? I don't know. But I know if I come back here next week, they won't be here. As evidenced by the Monster High things that weren't here. So I'm heading home. It's 1:50. I have about a half hour before I have to pick the kid up. After Target, I came home. I haven't been feeling good today. Maybe because I ate badly yesterday. Maybe because I got a sunburn. Maybe because of both of those things. Maybe the steroids I'm on. It's probably because I ate badly yesterday, but also because I've not been sleeping well. I did not sleep well last night, and I ate badly. I'm not feeling well. I got home, and I haven't accomplished anything. I've just been dealing with health. I did just email Comics Wellspring. I'd emailed them. I checked Thursday afternoon. So Friday, I'm not counting Saturday and Sunday, but it's been a couple days. It's been all day Thursday, all day Friday, and now Monday, not counting the weekend. And I haven't heard back, so I just pinged them again, like, hey, again, I made this mistake with printing, but is there something you could do? Because I'm gonna have to order more, but I don't want to order more until I hear back from them in case they have a solution, discount, something. Meanwhile, shirts. I was gonna talk about that before. I don't have them in here. Here's what's going on with shirts. I haven't heard anything back. Well, there were three printers, not including print on demand. One was local that I went in and they priced themselves out because they were saying $20 a shirt and they wouldn't do silk screen. They would only do direct to garment. So I was like, okay. One, which is local, I contacted, they never got back to me. I'm like, here's what I'm looking for. Never even responded. The other one, which is the one in San Francisco, which does the Godzilla Fest shirts, I've been back and forth with them. Really frustrating. I talked about this, where it'd be days in between emails and I'd give them 3 questions and they'd answer 1. And so they gave me a quote, but it didn't include shipping. And I'm like, okay, what was the shipping cost to my, here's my, whatever. And they just never responded. And so I'm kind of done with them too. So it looks like I'm doing the print on demand. And I'm looking at TeePublic because I know someone else that had done those shirts. Big Dog recommended. I ordered 2. They came real fast. I set up an account, ordered 2 for myself. They came in 3 days. It said it might be 6 to 8 days because I did standard shipping. Now that was expensive, but they came and the t-shirt quality seems okay. The printing quality seems okay. I haven't run them through the wash yet. I'm going to do that before I send people that way. But the color is a lot more muted than I would like it to be. The white is fine, but the purple and green, and that's because I created an RGB and thought it would just translate okay, because a lot of times I do that with like artwork and it changes slightly, but it's not that big a deal. But it was a noticeable deal. And that's just part of the reason I wanted to work with a local printer and or a silk screener, because I'd be like, oh, can you use a brighter ink or whatever, and I'm not gonna have that opportunity with this scenario. But what I did do is I went in and changed the colors to make them lighter to see if that prints a little better. But the other thing was it had printed kind of down here. Most shirt graphics, at least the ones I like, are up higher, and it was down here. So I moved it up as much as I could, but there was an upper limit. There was like a box area you could print on. So I moved it up as high as I could, and I changed the color, and I ordered 1 shirt this time to come. And if that looks okay, then I will go ahead and order the shirts I need for my backers, and I will make it available to everybody else at full retail price. And as expected, or not as expected early on, but as expected now, I will be losing money on every shirt that a Kickstarter backer got, but that's fine because they all ordered other things, and it evens out, and it's part of the reward system for that. But if you weren't part of the Kickstarter, you're going to be paying the full price. And actually, they're going for like $20-ish, and then there's often a sale, but then with the shipping and the tax, it still comes to over $20, which is a reasonable price for a shirt. But full transparency, through these sites, they send me $2 back. So every shirt I sell, I make $2. Great, fine, that's a little bit, but again, it's more just so people could get a shirt, and I could use this design, which I am pretty happy with. But that's where I'm at right now. I feel terrible. I'm gonna see if I could get some kind of artwork done over the next half hour before I have to leave. That's my plan. In a half hour, I got all of these taped and set on here, and this one I transferred from here to here, so that one's ready to go to final inks and colors and stuff, but now it is time to pick up the kids. So a little better. It's going on 5 o'clock. I got the kid home, gave her a snack, did some other stuff. I did play a game of Fortnite, just like I couldn't do anything. But I am feeling a little better. I had some late lunch of just cauliflower and cheese. I ate a croissant and cauliflower and cheese. Other than coffee, that's all I've eaten today, which sounds bad, but it's good considering how much I ate yesterday. I'm gonna go get her in a minute, but I did get some work done. The inks completely done on Seaguns. Is it Seagun or Seaguns? I always forget. Sigurath, that was way off. And I used blue, because this is gonna be like lightning and energy and clouds and stuff. So I need to color this and then I'm done. But looking at reference and stuff, I realized I didn't plan on what colors he's gonna be. I think he has a yellow tummy, and then, yeah. I'll probably color him first and then figure out the background colors. I know there's a little yellow-orange in his horn, but I'm feeling good because it's always a challenge to get going on these, and now I've got going. Meanwhile, I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is like paid for. I'm doing it, I'm working on it right now. It's in the rotation. I have other things coming up in the rotation. I have to finish a lot of stuff with issue 3. I mean, the art's done, but the printing of the comics is dragging on forever, and I have to do fulfillment and the shirts and all that. But that's mostly done. There's no real art involved there, just time. But I have to, once I get done with these 4 cards, I have to do the Micronauts cover, which I have the pencils for, and I have to, well, the Micronauts cover, the Micronauts commission, and that's just black and white. And then I have to do the Kid Switch cover, which I have the digital rough, but I have to do pencils and colors, and that's all digital. At that point, I'm starting issue 4, but I have a verbal agreement, no money's exchanged hands, but like that I'm gonna do a bunch more sketch cards for a different client. And then the client I'm working for currently just messaged me about doing some more cards, but they at least said, hey, further down the road, you know, months from now, a year from now, whatever. So it's like, okay, well, because I was, and they're smart because I was like, I just committed to all this stuff. And here's the thing, it's not that I don't like taking work, it's that my schedule is difficult between the work I have and my kid and everything else. I don't like having projects that I've committed to, that I have a deposit, and that it's due in like 2 months or a month or 3 weeks or whatever, where it's like, that's gonna be hard to hit, and I'm gonna have to pull all-nighters and stuff. I'm past that point in my life. I don't want to be pulling all-nighters anymore, especially because it affects my health. It affects my ability to be a good father. Things that are, important. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. Today's Monday. We'll see if I can come back to this, but now I gotta go take care of the kid. Tuesday morning. All right, lunch is made. We're running late. Made a little cute cat note. Normally would have left about 13 minutes ago, but she hasn't even come down to eat yet. She had a bit of a reaction to the vaccines where she seemed like she was a little sicky, which is sometimes normal, but then it seemed like she was actually sick. She was like sniffy and coughy yesterday. So I wasn't sure if she'd be better or worse today. So I let her sleep in, but then after I let her sleep in, she started playing in her room. And so now we're running very late. We're gonna be late to school, but that's fine. She seems healthier, and I'm gonna go do a short coffee day, edit this video, do a few other things, and then come home and work on the sketch cards. Now,
So, late starts. Hi. Late start today, as I had said. I'm at the coffee shop. I basically just edited the video you're watching now, so that took up most of what I was doing. I'm wearing the print shirt, the test print shirt, whatever. It's low. It's lower than it needs to be. The new one is adjusted up. I've already ordered it. I should have it this week. It says 6 to 8 days, but last time I got it in 3 days. I guess who knows. And I got it in a different quality shirt too to try that. I did hear back from the printer for the Comics Wellspring, and they apologized for being late and whatever, and they got back to me twice in a row. They're like, I'm going to check with somebody and get back to you, and they got back to me right away. So the good news is that has moved forward. The bad news is they essentially, the solution they offered is one I had thought about and dismissed as a bad idea. Essentially saying like, hey, sorry this happened, and sorry we didn't notice it. Not that it's their fault, but just, a little bit of empathy goes a long way. And the solution they suggested was reprinting the one page. And now when I say one page, it's 4 pages. It's one sheet, 2 pages on each side, but that's neither here nor there. Of 75 copies of that, which they gave me a rough quote of being like $100 roughly. And then the shipping would be about $20, about $120 to get the pages I needed printed and sent to me. And then I would need to take the staples out of each of the 175 copies, disassemble it partially, pull the page out, put the new page in, and either restaple them or refold the staples. Super time consuming. I don't know how long it would take, but I have, back in the day, I used to self-publish zines and stuff, and I remember stapling like 11 by 17s that I had folded in half. I had to have a long, I think it's called a swing arm stapler, but a really long one, which I don't own. And I would probably need one of those little alligator clippy things, because while you can pull staples off with your fingernails, after a few of those, you're going to rip your fingers up. So it'd be $120 for the printing and shipping, and some other amounts to get the stapler and the staple remover. So let's call it $30. I have no idea, but let's say 150, which means it's $150 plus hours and hours of work to do this. I'm sure it would be an all day thing. It'd be multiple day things. It would take me, yeah, if it took me 5 minutes an issue times 175, I'm not doing that math, but it's a lot. And that's assuming it takes me 5 minutes. I don't know how long it would take. Meanwhile, while I was watching this video, I had done the math of if I was going to reprint just what I needed to fulfill my Kickstarter backers and the artists that I owe comp copies for, and I came up with a number in the neighborhood of $200. That wouldn't make 175 copies, which I currently have, but it would cover what I need right now. And I haven't gone over the numbers, but I think I have that much in the Kickstarter fund, because the idea of the Kickstarter was it covered all the costs of printing and everything that everybody got, plus some extra. Not a lot extra. And so even though I've spent more than I wanted on some of the t-shirt stuff and this and that, I could come up with 200. And if I can't, I could just pay the $200. I don't want to. Where was I? So essentially, I'm going to order. I got to go home and upload the new page, well, a corrected page, and then order 70 copies or whatever I decide makes sense, and pay that money, which hopefully will be covered by the Kickstarter one. Because I need to I haven't gone through all the finances. I should, but I just got a million things going on. But I'm going to pay it regardless and hope it works out. And if not, then hey, I lost some money. What are you going to do? But I want to do the right thing by the people that supported me. And with the Horror Ray 4, it's, maybe one day it'll make money, but always it's been about just, getting my creative thoughts out there, my own stuff, and hoping people enjoy it. And if I don't want it to cost me money, and if I make money, that's great. But that was never, I make money doing other stuff. I'm going off on a tangent here. But the point is, for $50 more, I can just put the order in and start to fulfill things, because we're coming up on the end of July, which is when fulfillment is supposed to be. People are supposed to be getting it in July, or I got to check what I said, but so I'm going to do an update saying things are running a little late. I had to put another print order in and let people know what's up, because I believe in transparency, and I'm going to order them today. And as far as the ones that are left, the best thing I have thinking right now is to print just regular, like on a regular old printer. Maybe I will go to FedEx and goes just an 11 by 17. I'm sorry, 8.5 by 11 one sheet of that page that I'll literally just stick in the book and just give them out. Give them away for free with people that do big print orders. Give them away at conventions, and it seems like a little bit of a slap in the face to people who have backed me and supported me. But I think the fact that I'm going to pay out of my own money to reprint and get good copies for them, and then everyone else is just getting a random free copy of issue 3 with like a not perfect page, I'm just counting that as advertising. That's, that the second part of this plan is like probably what I'm doing. The part I'm definitely doing is ordering new copies today. But it's Tuesday. I'm going to end and put this up, and yeah, I'm having a lot of hiccups with printers, with t-shirts, with the comics. Some of it's my fault, some of it's not. Well, a lot of it's my fault, because a lot of it comes down to planning, but I don't regret anything. I appreciate the support. I'm glad with all these difficulties, this is the most prolific I've been artistically in years, both with my own stuff and with other stuff. I feel like I've been growing as an artist more than I have in years. So I generally feel positive overall. I'm just having a lot of real world setbacks. Nothing that big. Everything's fine. How are you? All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.